Hello, everyone. I am Sonia Nadina Haynes, joining you from Psychic.biz Live. We have a lively panel today. I'm so excited about our conversation. Of course, you could tell how excited I am because I am just Twitter-pated. Okay, so so we have Aeson Knight, we have Rain Love, we have Reza, and we have TJ. Yes, yes,
Yes.
and I'm meeting some of these individuals for the first time, but it's as if we've known each other forever. So I just love this show because it's like it morphs, it moves just as spirit does, which is wonderful. I'm actually now on the Psychic Coffee Shop where I have a 1 hour show. Just had it an hour ago, I think, or half an hour ago. And that was my first time. And I skidded on the seat of my pants and made it through. And yay! So wonderful. I do have a show called Change Your Mind, Shift Your Life on Sundays on Blog Talk Radio as well. Both shows are on Blog Talk Radio. I'm on Psychic.biz, and I am a little bit off and on. I do answer phone calls, but I'm not online, so that's another thing. I have been an intuitive all my life. I've been working this job for 20 years, so it's been a career choice. And I'm quite excited about this new shift in my life because I've got a community and all of us together. Now imagine this, all these beautiful, powerful beings walking, standing side by side, arms out, and we're sweeping the negativity away and bringing love to you. So I'm going to pass you on to Aeson so he can love you up a little bit more.
Give me. Hi, I'm Aeson Knight. I've been reading for about 26 years, professionally about 19. I host a show called Conversations with Aeson on Thursday nights at 11 o'clock on our Blog Talk station, which is the Psychic Coffee Shop. Then me and Rain Love also co-host the Psychic Coffee Shop on Wednesday nights at 11. I'm on Blog Talk. I do both phone and chat. I also do video chat by appointment. And I'm on sale until the 4th of July, so you want to take a very big advantage of that because I'm at 99 cents, and then after that, the price will go up to my normal rate.
Because he's worth the big price. He's a big ticket guy now, don't you know?
And I'm going to pass it over to one of our newer members joining the panel tonight, and that's TJ, and let him do his introduction.
All right.
Hi, I'm TJ. I've been reading professionally for about 10 years, though I've known of psychic since I was very, very little, around the age of 4. I predominantly work with the tarot, so I'm very into tarot readings and seeing what spirit has to say through tarot and the symbology and the imagery of tarot. You can find me on Psychic.biz most days. I am available on there for email readings as well, so even if I'm not logged on, there's a selection of email readings that you can choose from, and they start from as little as $10. I don't have a show at the moment, unfortunately, but one is coming, so I'm going to swift over to Res Miranda.
Alrighty.
You're all on there, Rez.
Okay, here I am.
Yeah.
Here I am, just a little mini me in a little mini box, which
Yeah,
is
you're on. You're actually big on my screen.
I'm big. All right.
Yes,
I always
there
wanted to
you
be big. Well, my name is Res Miranda. You can call me Rez, or you can call me Reza, whatever suits you. Just, with as long as there's an R in there somewhere. I'm a reader on Psychic.biz too. I'm relatively new to the site. I'm so happy to be with you guys. I love all of you to pieces, so it's always fun to be with you. I have a show too on Blog Talk Radio called Radio Tarot, and it's brand new, and I love seeing the callers and the chatters. Last Friday was my first time doing the show on Blog Talk Radio, and it's at Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. I really can speak once in a while when my brain decides to work. Maybe it will happen in a minute. So anyway, but what we talk about on the show mostly is the law of attraction and how to incorporate the tarot into that and into your life, and how to really learn to send and receive with your own brain power and mind power, and that's what I love to do. And so yeah, let's, we're just in a vibe here tonight about love and about sharing and about energy and about let's get this thing on the road. Let's stop living in fear. Let's stop feeling negative, and let's stop feeling heavy, and let's just do a psychic steamroll of over everything and have a good time, right, Rain?
Right, and thank you so much for the introduction.
You're
I'm
welcome.
Rain. Most of you know me as Rain. I've been involved in the business for about 20 years, working different venues, both private, working on other sites, and I'm a recent newcomer to Psychic.biz. Absolutely enjoying it. I love the energy. I love the people. I love the simplicity where it's not all complicated and all about businesses, about getting in there and helping people and working with people. I am an energy reader. I'm clairvoyant, clairaudio. I also have mediumship skills. And as most of you know, or at least those of you who have those skills know that they get a little crazy sometimes, some of the things that you pick up. It's interesting that you were talking about kind of knocking out, negative things, negative energies. Recently this weekend I went to a seminar and it was about breaking those chains that, keep us bound with respect to fear and the negative energy that comes in. And what do you do with it? How is it holding you back? So I think the topic that we have to talk about tonight, or wherever it leads us, is wonderful, and I'm excited.
Yes. Today's topic is self-talk. Oh boy, that's a hot topic because the conversations we have with ourselves would make you cry if you heard it out loud. And many of us believe that because we're having the conversation in our heads, that nobody will hear us, nobody will see us, nobody will notice, but whatever we have inside of our heads actually show up outside. And I'll give you a quick example. If there's a couple, I was walking up this road once, there's this couple, the woman is dressed in this beautiful outfit and she's all, turquoisey, and the dress is swooshing around her, and she's moving like crazy to keep up with her husband, who's walking several paces ahead of her. So I could tell by looking at her that she didn't think he saw her. You don't see me, you're not paying attention to me. But it's because she had already told herself that she's not attractive enough. So he's walking along ahead of her, and I saw her, and I went up to her, and I whispered in her ear, "You're beautiful." And she's like, oh, thank you. She called him, I remember that old show, "Hey, Abner." She called at her husband and said, wait a minute, do you hear what that lady said? And she muscled up to him and she told him, and he stopped for a minute, looked at me, put his arm out, slowed down, and the two of them walked along. So she had a negative view of herself, which her husband was he then projected back to her. It's like a confirmation, and we all do that. Right, Aeson, what do you think?
Very much so, we all do that. I mean, we do it all the time. I mean, I don't know how many times that I find myself having to correct people when they start doing that. "Oh, I'm stupid. Or "I don't know. I don't know." Oh, both those two phrases drive me up the wall. Because, yes, they do know, and
Yes.
no, they're not stupid. Or, "Oh, I'm just a dummy." No, you're not just a dummy. And they don't think that anybody pays attention to this. But they do. But you do. Your subconscious is always recording what you say, what you see, and what you hear. So if you're always putting yourself down, especially in the mirror in the mornings, "Oh, look at this gray hair coming in here. Oh my goodness, look at those wrinkles."
Yeah.
And it's only going to get you more.
Mhm.
Really, it is only going to pull in more. It's only going to create more of an issue for you, and that's where you've got to start reprogramming yourself, and you got to correct yourself, the same as you would correct anybody else. Because here's the facts: if a boyfriend, a husband, a boss would say that to you, what you say to yourself, you'd probably run them over with your car and not even back up. Just keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So Rez, what do you feel about that? What have you got to say?
I'm so embarrassed. I feel like you guys are reading my mind out in front of everybody, right in public. But you're right. We all do it. Wow. When and just that we're so unaware of it is the thing. I was watching makeup tutorials yesterday on how to makeup tricks so how your face doesn't look so fat on webcam. I mean, it's stuff like that, that you catch yourself doing. That you want to say, no, wait a second, wait a darn second. Weren't we just talking last week about authenticity, Sonia? Weren't we just talking about this and about how what you're going to say to yourself, you're going to believe, and you just it's about awareness. It doesn't matter what anybody else says to you; it's what you say to you. And if you take it in, we get to choose what we believe. We get to choose if somebody says, where you've got, two heads and you look like an idiot, whether you believe that or not, or whether somebody says you're beautiful. What if that woman that you said you're beautiful to said, no, I'm not, but she didn't. And just in that moment, she decided, even if it was subconsciously, she decided to believe that, and she was. That's where the creation comes in. When you believe it. That's what we're talking about when we say what you believe matters. Change your beliefs. You have a choice about what you believe, right?
Yeah, Rainey.
Oh, the spirit is so good.
I know it isn't. It's pretty neat, right? Rainey, how's about you?
Absolutely. In fact, it's very, very interesting because it reminded me this weekend when I went to this event training, if you will, and I just came in with my, little shimmery little set, little hoop earrings with all the little gems and simple pair of jeans and a jacket. And this one little gal who I sat next to goes, "You look great." Exactly. Exactly the response I had. Wow. Okay. But when you were talking, it made me think about quite often we do take the messages that we've gotten from people or the negative messages that have been given to us, especially from friends and families all those years. And we just take that stuff, and we begin to internalize it. And even if we're not saying it, the energy is going out there. And so we're getting the same response when it comes to other relationships and other people. And we're going, okay, why does everybody abandon me? Why am I ignored? Why am I taken advantage of? Why does everybody think I'm mean? Notice I use that word instead of another. Okay, and so, sorry. So we start internalizing that, and it comes forward. It's the energy that we're putting out there, because people really do pick up on energy, and it doesn't really matter, whether they're psychic or we all have a little bit of intuitiveness if we're being aware, but it doesn't really matter. We all pick it up. We pick it up the moment we're connected with somebody. We even pick it up when we're not around them. How you're treated, and it really has to do with how you think, and you have to remind yourself, okay, what is going on in my head? What message am I sending to myself today? Because the message that you send yourself is what you send to others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TJ?
I really have to agree pretty much with everything that everybody has said already. I don't really think I can add to that. But what I like to do for myself, and also if I have a client, say, who needs a little bit of help with this, is to externalize it, because as we know, thoughts are things and thoughts have power. And that's partly how the law of attraction works. And so I like to put a shape or an image to the thought, and think about the thoughts as if they were things. So for each negative thought, it could be a weed in a garden, and for each positive thought and for each positive thing we are saying to ourselves, it could be a beautiful flower. And I think if we really all sat and thought about what our gardens look like at the moment, I think we'd all be a little bit shocked, because perhaps there would be maybe more weeds than beautiful flowers. And it's about taking those weeds. I mean, you rip weeds up in real life, right? So visually ripping the weeds out and planting new positive seeds of thought to create new beautiful flowers about things that we're saying about ourselves. And even if it's not true at first, just keep telling yourself anyway that you're beautiful, or that you're intelligent, or whatever it is, whatever you're having the confidence issue with. Write it on a mirror so that when you see it, you know, that's the first thing that you're seeing. So you're seeing the mirror, you're seeing beautiful, you're seeing whatever it is, and then you start to believe it. So actually, my thing is kind of taking the internal things and sort of externalizing it a little, so people can really get a visual handle on how we think about ourselves.
Yeah. Aeson?
I like that you do the visual thing, because I actually make a grocery list and stick them on the side of the mirrors, because we don't have such big mirrors here. But have you guys noticed here lately, especially here, and granted, we're probably about 4 seasons behind the rest of the world because it has to be imported, and piped in with the sunshine. But those signs that say like love and believe that you can put up in your house, those need to be like all over people's houses that are having issues with that. And then you start making signs like self-confident and beautiful and joy. I really loved it when they had everything came out and it had princess all over it. Because if we think, if we see that word, it's going to resonate in our minds. Now, I don't know if you guys had studied this, heard about this, or about someone taking and telling about 30 people to ask someone if they were tired or sick, and by the end of that hour, they would be in bed, so deathly sick.
Yeah.
Think about that if it's in your head. If you're repeating it back in your head, I am tired, I am tired, I am tired. Before you know it, you're sleeping for 3 days and you look like you got ran over by a machine car.
Yeah, absolutely. The power of suggestion, right?
Yeah, but it's your own. We have our own inner tape running all the time. Where do you got to go? Where do you pick up? What's this one think of you? What that one thinks of you? So I love the idea of having your own garden that you just need to go and weed out all the bad stuff and correcting yourself. When you say something, no, that ain't right. Like you would do anybody else.
Yeah.
What about how we view our money? How do y'all think that applies with our self-thinking?
Oh boy. Well, when I wrote the book, The Power of Money, which is on Amazon and all over the world right now, probably somewhere. But in that book, I talk about how we use our own minds against us. We actually use that self-talk to limit ourselves. But we learn how to limit our view of money and our ability to achieve through our parents. So when you were a kid and you kept asking Mama, can I have another hot dog? Can I have another ice cream cone? And Mom and Dad says, you're going to eat me out of house and home. And because you want to look after your parents, you try your best not to ask so much, not to take so much. And most people on the planet have a hard time receiving. We love the idea of giving, but we have a hard time receiving. And as I've said many times, if you imagine a world where every single person is receiving and no one is giving, no, sorry, hang on. Everybody is giving and no one is receiving. So switch it around. It's supposed to be the way I said it before. But if you imagine that everyone on the planet is saying, no, 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 I'm not worthy. Here, have mine. Here, have mine. Here, have mine. And no one is willing to receive. There'll be a bank, which is what's happening, where the 1% have most of the planet's money. There'll be all the money will be piled up somewhere, waiting for us to say, yes, I deserve to have it. I'll take it. Right? So we need to start seeing ourselves as abundant, as worthy of having the financial abundance that is there. It's there. You know, and I talk about the planet. Look at the trees. How many leaves are on the trees? A tree is abundant with leaves.
Mhm.
Why can't we be abundant financially?
Well, a lot of it is the self-thinking that we're not worth it. Oh, you're not worth that. Oh, you can't spend that. So we have to change that internal conversation that we have with ourselves that says, okay, you worked 40 hours this week, you get $4. Or you need to do A plus B because we don't have that self-worth. It's like our body image. One of the times I've done this workshop, and they have you lay down on a big piece of paper, and you draw someone draws your body out for you, the shape of it, and then you have to look at it, and the people will go, oh, well, they done that wrong.
Yeah.
I'm much bigger than that, or I'm much smaller than that. And it's like, no, that's exactly how you look. Now cut it out and color it. And we did. We got to decorate ourselves, how we liked ourselves.
Yeah.
But, it really taught me to really look at my self-image. Really look at, how I perceive myself, because, and I'm sorry, ladies, and you guys can probably stone me afterwards, but ladies have the most biggest problem with this when they start criticizing themselves and start going, oh no, I'm all wrinkly, I'm all old, I'm all this, I'm all that. It's like, no, you're not.
Rainey, what do you have to say about all that self-image?
Right now. Aeson and I have had so many conversations about this.
Yes, we have.
Yes. 2 points I wanted to make. I was thinking about what you were saying, Miss Sonia. I made a point about it's really hard for us to receive, okay? A lesson I heard from a very wise friend many years ago. When you deny or struggle with accepting something being given to you from someone, that you deny them the pleasure of that blessing, if you will.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you can go and give in your own turn, but take it, okay, because you give them a blessing. And it's true, we do feel so good when we give.
Yes,
but
give them the same pleasure. Yeah.
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 And then the other point that I wanted to make, and this was, related to the money, okay, money is there, it is abundant. I think getting one of us, I know, again, Aeson and I have talked about this many times, how do you bring in abundance in your life, okay? And say we're looking at money, for example. It's about your mindset. It's about how you view money. Do you view money as something, or people who have money as people who are bad, or, how do you view money? How do you view people who have money? We all of us have grown up with all these terms. Money isn't everything. Well, it sure helps.
Oh boy, I'd like to be a poor person with a lot of money.
You're saying that message.
Yeah.
You're saying that message. You're saying, "Oh, I'm not worth it." So changing our mindset. And again, I think that ties into so many things. Being aware of what we're saying, how we think, those preconceived notions that have been passed down to us that we've been raised with, being able to identify them, especially when you're working on a certain goal. Say your goal would be to lose weight. Say your goal would to maybe not feel so old. Or money, okay? Actually, which we can work on. Okay, paying attention to those messages that we're feeding ourselves.
Yeah. TJ?
Yeah, again, I really have to agree. I'm struggling to find things to add because you're all, saying such amazing points. Yeah, I mean, I always like to try and think of myself as very abundant, and I try and get people around to that way of thinking, because I feel like if you've got, or at least for me, I can only speak from my point of view at this point. If I've got enough money to, say, make sure the bills are paid and maybe buy a video game that month, I feel rich then. And so often what I find is when I'm in that feeling of feeling rich and woo, I've got a new video game, more money just suddenly appears.
Yes.
Because like attracts like.
Yes.
So yeah, so I really try and encourage people to sort of feel abundant with what they have. And
yeah,
because then, like I say, more will probably come, because I'm rambling slightly.
No, you're doing great. You're doing just fine. You're doing
I'll
just
throw
fine.
something at you, TJ.
Yeah.
Go on.
What about caring for your inner child?
My inner child is practically on the surface, Aeson.
He's the one that likes the video games, huh?
Yeah, I kind of, when I'm not working, I'll be really honest, when I'm not working, I kind of live in a little bubble of The Simpsons and superheroes, and for me that just makes me feel very, very happy. So I kind of then am able to project happiness onto people when I am working, and that's very important for me, regardless of what has maybe gone on in my life. In between times, it's important for me to have that time of sitting watching Spider-Man or playing a video game or whatever it might be. So I think that everybody should maybe do that, maybe even just once a week, sit and do something that they enjoyed as a child, or something that reminds them of being happy as a child specifically. Because a lot of things that we say to ourselves and a lot of beliefs that we have are embedded in our heads from childhood.
Yes.
And so it's important to nurture the happy bits while getting rid of the negative parts, I feel.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. Rez?
I was enjoying watching TJ so much I completely forgot what I was going to say.
We're talking about inner children.
Yes, that's right.
And money
I always said from the time I was a little kid, now I grew up in Los Angeles mostly, so I had the opportunity to go to Disneyland a lot. And so I was very influenced when I was just a little bitty girl about making wishes and dreams can come true and Tinkerbell and never grow up and all of that stuff. And I remember saying to myself when I was just that small that I'm going to remember this my whole life. I'm going to remember always to never grow up all the way and to remember what it's like to be a child. And I can tell you I'm over 50 now, from all of that time that it has served me well. TJ is absolutely right to say, to highlight the importance of keeping that part of you alive, because that is joy, that is creation, that is imagination without limits. That is what we're supposed to do here. We're not supposed to say, okay, well, I'm 15, 16 years old or what have you, age of adulthood or 18 right now, and so I'm supposed to just be a grown-up now and forget ever being happy or having fun ever again. Okay, I'm done. Now I'm a grown-up.
And some people do that, don't they? Some
Yes.
people actually say, oh, I'm such and such an age. I can't do this because I'm such and such an age. And that really annoys me. Why? Well, what has age got to do with what you can't do? If it means enjoying yourself, why are we as a species so restrictive and always trying to box ourselves in? Never mind other people, but we often try and box ourselves in, don't we, Raz?
Yes, absolutely. We think we have an image we have to put forward, or we have it's we seek the approval of other people mainly, and I
Yes.
think so much we don't realize it. You know,
Yeah.
going back to being judged and validated and fitting in and all of that. But think of all the people you've known in your life who've been absolute oddballs, and everybody loved them.
Yeah.
You know, for just an example. I'm not going to talk about anyone in particular. But, think about that. People who are genuine and are happy and are self-aware, they draw friends, they draw lovers, they draw money, they draw more happiness. Everybody says, ooh, they're weird, but I wish I could be like them, you know. It's the truth. You know it. So, it's maybe you've only got one shot at it. You don't know you're going to come back again. I hope we do. But you don't know that for sure.
I'm not coming back. That's it. This is it for me. Thank you very much. The T-shirt. You can't even see one thread left from that whole T-shirt because it's been worn so well. So no, thank you. But
Bye.
I'll hang out long time. I'll combine many lifetimes in one. But
Will you be my spirit guide?
Oh yeah, that part I can do. But no.
Forget this human stuff.
Oh my.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the human experience is amazing. It's fantastic in that when we figure out how to be omnipotent in this small space that we occupy called our bodies, oh my gosh, when we learn to be expansive, wow. That's when the human being will start to truly live. I feel anyway. Yeah.
That's a good point.
And that's something to talk about. Our boundaries and putting boundaries on ourselves, like, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that. You can't sit down and play the video game and beat it because you're not 14 anymore. That's not what you're supposed to do. That's baloney.
Right.
That's baloney. Yeah. Give me a couple hours on Warcraft or something, and I'm ready to go take on the world, because by the time that I've, gone in and beaten up this and that, it's like, oh, I am King Castle, let's go.
Do you know that they use air flight simulators and war games to train Air Force pilots?
Yep.
In every country of the world. I used to do transcription work for an aerospace magazine, and there was a whole series of articles about how the Air Force pilots trained their sims. Their video games is what they are. So
yep, exactly the same, aren't they?
You're not 10.
That's what we should do in our mind, on the mental side of it, is to play that out. Okay, you now have $1 million. You now have gotten that magical plastic surgery that makes you look like you're 23 again. Now, what are you going to go do with it? And I think we get stuck in that. Well, I'm successful. I'm successful. I'm successful. I'm successful. Well, that's nice, but what does success mean to you?
Yeah.
What does it look like? Where does it go? What do you think about it, Rainey?
Well, first of all, when you're looking at success, because I think we all get really caught up in what we believe society terms as success, instead of what we need to sit down and decide what we believe is success. What is success for us? And I think we were talking a few minutes ago, and I have to be honest, I don't recall who was saying it, and I apologize. We were talking about not being able to let go and allow ourselves to have fun. That's because we've allowed ourselves to be pained up.
Sorry about the train.
Right.
Yeah.
I like the train.
Oh, good. Okay. It keeps following me everywhere I go. Oh my gosh.
What kind of message is that?
Train of thought.
That's right. Train of thought.
Sorry, Rainey. You keep talking. The train just decided to interrupt you.
Yeah. When we keep ourselves chained up, because we really are chaining ourselves up with our beliefs about ourselves, with beliefs about what we perceive others think about us, and guess what? Who cares if they think that? Who cares if they talk about us? They're going to anyway. So it really has to be, do we surround ourselves with positive people, positive energy, and do we surround ourselves, fill ourselves up with those thoughts, okay, that validate us? Because there's a whole lot of insecure people around you. We all have insecure people. Do you think that their main mindset is to sit here and go, gee, I'm going to make Ray feel good today? They're not feeling good about themselves and giving themselves their own negative message.
That's right.
No.
Yeah.
I did something a few years ago when I was working with students. I actually started off as a little experiment with a really, really grumpy little lady that I worked with. She was just mean every day. She came in and just was mean. She'd come in with her students. I thought, oh man, I can't handle this woman. So I decided to try a little experiment with her. And I always believe in authenticity, tell the truth. And every day she would come in and I would truthfully find something about her I liked. And believe me, that was hard sometimes. But I would find something. I didn't care if it was a ring on her finger, earrings in her ear, the color of shirt she was wearing. And every day I would say something. This took about 2 weeks. And trust me, hon, she was grumpy. After about 2 weeks, she would come to me every day, because she'd want to hear, hey, how you doing? How you doing? And she'd wait for that compliment.
Yes.
You know, first of all, that changed the energy with me, but it changed the energy with her. And I found that when I did that every day with my students, I got the same result.
Yes.
They would come in and look for their independent specific, because I was very specific for each one of them individually, something that I noticed about them. We need to do that for others, but in doing that for others, we also do that for ourselves.
For ourselves, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it goes out to other people that they have contact with, their own loved ones and their own friends, and as they say, so on and so on.
To ripple effect.
Yeah, you don't know. When I first started doing readings professionally, I said to one of my very experienced colleagues, you know, sometimes I just feel so burnt out. I don't feel like anyone's listening to me at all, and nobody will do what I say. I told them to, you know, right? And she was like, you don't know that. She got very short with me. She said, you do not know that. You have no idea what grows from the seed you planted and what happens later on, what someone thinks about later on, and what they take with that information and what they do with it. And so I think that's the same for positive things that you say and interact with people for, and negative things as well. You don't know, what that does. We better start thinking about that, the effect we're having, because you don't know. But how often have we ourselves thought about something that somebody said years ago?
Right.
Good or bad.
Yeah.
And how what is that the observer effect in quantum physics? That's not just about looking at something. It's about putting a word there. It's the word that creates, the thoughts and the words that create. You change a situation just by showing up. So I think we better start watching what we say. Yeah. Wow, note to self.
Yeah, Greek sage, he passed away in the 70s, said, our thoughts take a life of their own when they leave us. They go out to wherever we've projected them. So if I send a thought to somebody down the street, it'll go to that person, but the thought always returns to the sender. So if the thought leaves you and it's a negative thought and it goes to the person and the person feels fear because of the energy in the thought comes back to you equally stronger, negative, and also with the fear that person has. And I think that's what's been circulating around the planet right now, the negative thoughts that are sent out that are coming back stronger. And it's quite a shame. Well, I guess it's quite a shame, really, because that's a negative thought we have for ourselves that fill us up so much that there's no more space, and then it spills out and goes out to the others,
Yeah, interesting. You know, you made me think of something that I've been observing lately with people.
Mm-hmm.
I know that people are, you know, frustrated because they keep picking up this negative energy and getting this negative energy from other people because they're making comments about it, you know, especially on social media, and they're searching to change the energy. And one thing that I have been noticing with different people I come in contact with, like, give me your name, I want to say something nice about you. Or they're trying to reach out and change that energy. And, you know, just everyday people, because they have a consciousness of they don't like what's going on around them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like the way that they feel. So I do believe people are picking up on that,
Mm-hmm.
trying to
That's
go
good.
out there and change it.
Right. And, you know, taking control of that and going, you know, there's a theory called shifting of energy. And, you know, because energy cannot be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
In general, energy is always, is, and forever.
Mm-hmm.
It can be transferred, however. You know, a negative energy or a negative thought can be transferred into a positive thought. And that's what you have to do. You know, i.e., well, your ex-husband used to say that you were heavy. I'm not heavy, I'm thin. You know, or, you know, and transfer.
Or Rubenesque.
Or Rubenesque.
Big, beautiful mango. I was in Australia. Yeah, I was in Australia, and this woman, she kept going on and on about her body, and I can't find any clothes and all this stuff. I said, what's the matter? She said, well, I'm overweight. So I said, okay, let's go shopping. I took her, got her a bias cut silk dress, put it on. I said, girl, have you ever bitten into a mango? She said, yeah. I said, well, imagine that you bite into the mango and the juice is running down your chin. That's what you look like. The smile is, okay. I said, you're a mango.
Yum.
Exactly. Yum.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think we need to use the words yum when we look at ourselves as opposed to this or to that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that. Red lipstick
I
on
like
my
that.
bathroom mirror.
Mhm.
You know, and, you know, transferring that energy helps us, but it also reprograms us because, you know, then we begin to understand, oh, when I hear this, it actually means this.
Mhm.
You know, many years ago, this was way back in the Stone Age for a lot
Old
of our
guy.
viewers. Oh, yeah, I'm an old guy. You know, me and my then at the time first husband was working together, and it, you know, I live in the middle of drop dead at Egypt. I mean, you know, we pipe in stuff here. So instead of making, you know, the I love yous, because I would leave before he would, that type of thing, and, you know, most married couples go, I love you, I'll see you later. We started saying, all right, I'll pick up some ice cream. And, you know, that is, you know, so now, you know, so we transferred that to, all right, I know this, you know this, and, you know, so we know what's going on. But it really became kind of a really strange thing that, you know, people were like, ice cream, and they start talking about ice cream. And, you know, worse, you're saying our goodbyes to each other. And it was surprising to watch the effect in that restaurant and how much ice cream sales went up.
I think if one of the ice cream companies listen to this broadcast, they'll be using that thing in their commercial.
That'll be perfectly fine, honey. We will gladly accept another sponsor. You know, our sponsor right now is Psychic.biz.
.biz, yes.
You know, so, you know, so yeah, change the words, change the meanings of the words, because guess what? They didn't used to mean that to begin with till someone said, oh, this is a, you know, this is a coffee cup.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how we talk about the days of the week. How often does everybody say, oh, it's Monday? Well, what do you mean? Does anybody ever say, why do you say that? Or why do you call it like that? Or, yay, it's Friday. Who cares? Call it chocolate. It's just chocolate today. You're absolutely right. It gives you a whole instantaneous different perspective.
Right, and it makes you think differently. It makes you feel differently, and it's because of the words you're using, and what you think they mean comparatively. It's like everybody is always so excited over Friday, and I don't know, for us in the biz,
Yeah, we don't have a Friday.
We don't know what day it is.
Half the time we don't know what day it is. Someone, for a very long time, Throwback Thursday was a thing. And I'm like, Throwback Thursday? What day is it?
Yeah.
Throw what exactly? What is it we're supposed to be throwing?
Like throwing up old pictures or making comments about old movies. And I'm like, really? That's a thing? I think people are too bored.
I think so, too.
I think we should take back Mondays. We should do Take Back Mondays, where on Mondays we post something positive about ourselves. And take back control of that Monday.
And everybody goes out for nachos.
Deal.
Yes, nachos. Yes, now you're talking, Sonia.
There you go. DJ's been fired up now. That's it.
Aeson, Monday is actually my favorite day of the week.
See?
Really?
Yeah,
It's my favorite
way.
thing.
It ended up being my favorite day of the week because it's the day I could almost take a half a day off and I could be a little bit more relaxed. So it's my favorite day.
Love it.
Now what were you saying, TJ, darling?
I was just saying Monday's my favourite day of the week too, because it's the day connected to the moon, and the moon is very, very powerful for all kinds of stuff. So Monday, I mean, because like we often think, totally going on a tangent, but we often think about the full moon for cosmic ordering and manifesting and things like that. Just do it on a Monday. That's the day connected to the moon. You don't have to wait a whole month, so that the moon, the moon Monday is, it's a really powerful day, and having a negative effect on that day, I think, puts a cap on manifestation, because that's the day you should be asking the moon to help.
It's kind of the day you put your seed in the ground for it to grow, right? If you don't water that poor bugger in the ground there, oh boy, we're not going to have a tree or any harvest at the end of the week. That's actually very good. That's very good. You should write an article about that, TJ.
There you go.
I will. Thank you, Sonia.
Yeah, actually, that is brilliant. I had never thought of it, never heard of it, and so many people watch. That article is going to go around the world on YouTube or trending or whatever they call it with all that stuff. Yeah.
Hashtag everything.
Hashtag trending, yeah.
And we're doing something that people don't do that often anymore. Actually laughing. Have y'all noticed people have stopped laughing?
Yeah.
It's like, come on. I do 3 o'clock Walmart runs just because I live in night shift time. If you see me during the day before 9, there's something wrong.
No wonder we love you.
Exactly. I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you can get the best meat at 3 in the morning at Walmart. And I was talking to one of the cashiers, and I live in southern part of the country. So honey, deers, baby dolls, what you doing type conversation. Sugar, love, all that. And she's like, you can't say that anymore. And I'm like, really? Why not? And they're like, oh, well, it offends people. I'm like, oh, please, give me a break. Go find something else to be offended over. Like the color of a leaf.
So much.
Yeah, that whole political correctness is creating a great deal of confusion for people.
Right.
We're almost talking ourselves out of loving each other, or showing love for each other.
Becoming afraid to talk. Just becoming afraid to talk at all. So,
Yeah, that's a shame. Well, everybody's love for me, so, whether they like it or not. And a lot of people get hugged and they go, and and turns out they actually really like the hug. They just weren't sure what to do with it in the first place. And that's it. If I don't hug you, something's wrong with you. That's all. You know. So, and whomever is out there, if I haven't hugged you, you better check behind you to make sure you didn't sit in some dog poop or something. You know. So that's it.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I come from a culture of also a very southern culture. You know, Texas, Louisiana, Aeson, where it's everybody hugs. You're affectionate. You're like, hi y'all, and just everybody, you know, hugs.
Oh yeah.
And just, you know, and when I got out in the world and started meeting people that didn't feel that way, I thought something was wrong with them. I thought, well, oh, okay. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do that. You know, but they kind of look at you like you've got three heads. And so we have to stop being afraid to love and to receive, back to learning how to receive again. Let's start over. Just start over.
And you know, back when I was on the nursing floor, I always had, honey, baby, darling, all right, we're going to go do this, you've got to do that. And their faces would light up, and I'm like, they're not getting that anymore? Are you crazy? You know, our view of law, you know, that's that terms of endearment that says you're important, you're valuable, you're comfortable to me, we know each other. And we're losing that, and I think that we need to also take back Southernisms, because, you know, that's the type of sit down, have conversation. You don't have to do Mrs. and Mr. You do that
over
in the
my
bank.
over my favorite pecan pie.
Yes, ma'am. Now you're talking.
And real iced tea, no sugar in it.
Oh,
Just
yes.
some lemon.
Yes, ma'am. I'll bring the biscuits and black-eyed peas. We're good.
I'll bake the pecan pie. I have no problem baking a pecan pie.
Or with TJ, beautiful scones.
Oh, yes.
I make some of the best scones on the planet.
There you go.
I make it's so good. I'll eat 6 of them. So, and I don't eat other people's scones. So, see, positive self-talk here.
Exactly.
This is the best time I've had all week.
There we go. Positive self-talk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. You have to do that positive self-talk, and you have to mean it. And, you know, I can't wait, because, you know, we're going to do some traveling, and I'm sure all of us will meet up eventually and do some live events. And that's when we need to bring our A game. And, you know, I'll bring the pecan pie. And
that's right.
Randy can bring the tea with no sugar, extra lemon, and a little bit of mint.
Yes.
Well, can I bring matcha or green tea?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but make sure you bring some old-fashioned, nice, Chinese black, orange peel tea.
Yeah, you can bring 2 sets of teas. The green tea for you and the regular old tea for me.
Okay.
Southern tea, you sit on the front porch with your glass, sweating all over the table. Yeah.
Absolutely. Sun tea. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I'm telling you, Sonia, if you were my neighbor, I'd just be having a ball.
Oh, you would. I'd probably be in your house cooking in your kitchen, too.
Sure sounds good. You know,
Sonia, anytime you want to come down to West Virginia, you got a kitchen waiting for you, honey, with 2 ovens.
My sister lives in Richmond, so.
Oh, you're only 6 hours away.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just up the street from you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be down there. I'm due for another trip to Sedona, so
Awesome.
I can take it and make it a 1-week drive to Sedona and stop off along the way.
Cool.
Only TJ will be out of the way. You're too far.
No, we'll bring him in.
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
There's planes, you know, I can hop on the plane.
Yes,
well,
yes.
Sedona's not all that far from me, actually. I'm pretty close to Sedona.
Where are you?
I'm in Denver, but
okay.
So we used to go to Sedona all the time. It's really only just but a few hours. It's not all that far. But, you know, there was something that we were talking about a few minutes ago about hugs and how natural it is, you know, to give hugs and all. Well, I don't think you know, it needs to be stated any more than we've already stated it. A lot of people don't feel comfortable with that. But you know what? I think a lot of people don't feel comfortable with that, maybe because they haven't been taught it.
Yeah.
or they don't feel like they're worth it because of whatever their history is.
Mm-hmm.
That's where us little huggers
Mm-hmm.
can come in and give that. Because, it's like the words. When you keep coming in and giving it, you keep coming in and giving the words, guess what? They start to like it. And then they start to spread it.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think hug therapy is the best therapy for kids that have problems.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
Just hug.
Yeah.
They're going to struggle at first, but just keep holding them and open your heart, and eventually they'll just start crying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Aeson, do you want to do the wrap up for us?
Oh, yes, let's do the wrap out. Okay, I am on Wednesday nights with Miss Rainey this week, and who knows what we're talking about yet, honey, darling, because I haven't even looked at the schedule. Over at the Psychic Coffee Shop, and then I have conversations with Aeson on Thursdays, and you can reach me over at Psychic.biz. Make sure to use coupon code SUMMER16, and you'll get $5 free off of any deposit. All right, now TJ is actually out of the UK. He's a UK trained psychic. So TJ, why don't you give us a little of your information again and where they reach you and how your schedule works?
I don't really have a schedule, I'm afraid.
That's good. You're flying at the seat of your pants. Works
Yeah.
every time.
I just wake up and see how I feel and see how it goes. But I am on Psychic.biz most days, Psychic.biz/T-JAY. And like I was saying before, even if I'm not online, I'm usually online for video readings. You'll either get to see my little face or it'll be card cam where you can see the cards. And often phone readings as well. And if I'm not available for any of those, there's a list of email readings that you can choose from, and even those are quite cheap. And I'm only one credit 50 for the moment, so please come and say hello. It would be so good to hear from some of you all.
Awesome.
Awesome. And Miss Raz, what's going on with you this week?
Well, after this, I want to do this every day now. That's what I want to do. I want to just hang out with you guys every day. But I'll be on Psychic Biz evenings from about 10 p.m. till, probably almost 3 a.m. Eastern Time. Be sure and tune into Radio Tarot Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Psychic Coffee Shop online. Did I get it right? On Blog Talk Radio. Woo! Can't wait to talk to you there. All of you, I love you to pieces. I must go because I have another engagement, but I just hug, group hug.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's sending out to everybody who's listening as well. Feel the hugs.
Yes.
Mm.
And we'll pop over to Miss Rainey. How are you doing? What are you doing this week, darling?
Well, as you said, I'm doing, the Psychic Coffee Shop tomorrow evening with you. And we will know what we are talking about certainly by tomorrow evening. Also, again, I'm kind of doing a little bit of clearing out here, but I'm also, doing some work in the local area with respect to, working with people who are actually trying to work on changing their energy. Okay, so I'm a part of that right now. I'm on every day on Psychic.biz with all of these wonderful people, and you can catch me there right now. And other than that, trying to stay cool. It's hot in Denver. Like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Miss Sonia, what you got going on this week, honey?
Oh, I'm running non-stop. I think I've got too many balls juggling in the air. But Monday's just, hey, I read that mind of yours. And I can juggle them very well, too, don't you know? I am on Psychic.biz on, Psychic Coffee Shop on Tuesdays, just before this show. I have my own show on Sundays, off and on, because I tend to be doing 6 million things also. I am on Psychic Biz by telephone most times, and as soon as I can get a chance, I go on to the video audio chat thing. I still don't understand it, but I'm there. If you see that I'm there, I'm there. So I'll just I'm available. If you want to see my face, just ask me to reveal myself, and I shall do so.
All right, then. Well, good night, all. Thanks for listening and watching.
Yes.
And you can reach us over at Psychic.biz. If you'd like more information about our shows, you can reach us at psychiccoffeeshow.info. It has a full schedule, and you can actually reach everybody over there because they all have a page there where you can click and be right in contact with them, or go just straight to Psychic.biz and just get us there. It's so much easier. Until next week, we'll see you later. Have a great evening.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Let the sunlight go all over you. Bye.
Bye-bye.